Oh, that is a nice copper coin. But Doug, do you know what time it is?
45 up.
Who says 45 of, Doug? It's quarter after. What's up, guys? Court Order here. Did I start the show this week? I did. I can see the show running. Last week, forgot to start the show, but we did have a good conversation without everybody. But how's everybody doing? It should be a fun show tonight. I'm going to try to do it where it's just more hanging out with you guys. I do got a bunch of pictures, and we're going to talk about this incredible house we've been hunting, but I didn't want to get distracted, and I'm just going to kind of hang out with the chat a little bit. But I am going to bring in some of the group in a second. But let me do a couple of quick hellos. I see Mud Swat. What's up, brother? I see Show Me Treasure, Adventures in Dirt. Ken is there. Terry Finney, Gopher, Bill, Amanda Collins, Big Wave, digging something. I'm sorry. I got the wrong glasses on. But let me bring in some of the guys, and we'll kind of get this shindig started. I'll start off, of course, with the longest running member of the team other than me. Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane Fon Doug.
Howdy.
Doug, I love every week how you have that halo behind your head. Like it looks like there's sunbeams just shooting out of your brain.
I look like Mother Teresa.
You do look like a mother something, I'll tell you that. Who else do I got here? I got the one and only Charlie, the Heritage Relic Hunter. How are you, Charlie?
I'm doing well. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Charlie, when he said the one and only, I thought he was going to introduce Groucho.
I don't even get that. I don't even get the reference.
That was George Fenneman's introduction to Groucho.
I don't know who George Fenneman
is. And the only Groucho.
I don't know who George Fenneman is. I'm totally lost. Am I on the same planet as you?
Charlie knows.
All right. And let me bring in, last but not least, the duo of Rich Van Winkle and Lindiana Jones. How are you guys?
Hey.
How you doing?
We got to get a picture of Lynn wearing the cowboy hat and the whip. I want to get a silhouette of that.
Mm.
You know, I've been moving stuff, and I found a whip that I got when I was really little when we went to Florida.
Oh, thanks, Rich.
I found a whip the other day. So.
Oh, okay. I don't even want to know why you had a whip, but
I told you the story.
You did?
It was with his leather. It was with his black leather clothing.
I went to Florida, or we went to Florida, and
Disney.
I don't remember what it's supposed to go to or anything, but.
All right. Well, hey, we need the prop, so that's good.
Yep.
And Lynn, if you don't have a cowboy hat, we'll put that tin hat on your head. That one looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's close enough.
That'll look great. No, I've got a hat.
I got to also say that it's summertime, and I was telling Doug I ate like a quarter of a watermelon about an hour ago. So there's a slight chance I may have to run to the lavatory.
The watermelon man.
Man, I love my fruits, Doug. I used to eat those bananas all the time. In the summer, I love melons and peaches, and oh man, I'm just
You'll get a new nickname if you're not careful.
Well, I don't want another nickname, that's for sure. But no, I thought we would start off with the house, guys. We've got we've been hunting an incredible house that we actually started last week, and for some reason, I'm not seeing the chat updating on my screen. All right, there it is. Yeah, Ken said a quarter of a watermelon. I did have a quarter. I do everything in quarters, Ken. Everything I do revolves around quarters. Let me bring it in, Doug, real quick, because I'll set the stage a little bit.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is the house we were hunting, and we actually started this house last year. And at the time, we knew we wanted to come back, but didn't know when, because, once in a while we'll hunt a house that we find so much stuff. I mean, such a huge variety of things that we kind of want to go back again. And that's how this house was. if you remember all the stuff we found on the first trip or two from last year, even the homeowner got some incredible pieces. Do you remember what he got, Doug?
And the last time we were there, he got some neat stuff. So
yeah, this video, he also got some really good stuff. So it was a house I was excited to return to, and the homeowner joined us again. Before I started, I'm going to real quick just kind of tell a story. I don't have any pictures up, but this past weekend on Sunday, we do 2 annual get-togethers, all the gang every year. We do a Christmas party at Lynn's house because her house is just so awesome to look at. And we do a summer barbecue at Doug's house because Doug is really good with all the landscaping and the flowers. It's really pretty. So we did the summer barbecue at Doug's house on Sunday, and not only were the whole gang of diggers there that you may or may not have seen recently, but we also had about Doug, like 5 property owners that we met.
yes.
That we just became friends with, this family member from this house included.
Yep.
And the wife and my wife must have chatted for like a good hour and a half. They really hit it off. The family that'll be in next week's video, they were there also. Angela and Sean, who were great. So many of them. I wish we could have had more, but Doug's wife was saying, "All right, guys, that's enough people."
And interesting, you called it the barbecue. There wasn't an ounce of barbecue to be found.
Yeah, we didn't have any like dead animal on the menu. But there was a get together. Potluck. Everyone kind of brings something. It's a lot of snacks and food and cornhole and all that stuff. So let me bring this in. So these homeowners from this house were at the barbecue amongst everybody else. And before I started, Doug, I just wanted to give a recap of when we were there last year. Just a few pictures so you can see some of the stuff we found. Let's see if I can kick this off here. This was the thumbnail from the first time we were there, Doug, which was one of my favorite thumbnails of the year.
I got a hernia. Thank you.
Yeah, it just looked good. Doug pretending to roll the big millstone. It's not my mic. Rich and Lynn's mic, for whatever reason, has been popping, guys. So, John, I don't know. We can't figure out what it is. So we're working on that. I may mute them if it gets bad. At the moment, it's tolerable.
We're not touching anything.
I know. I don't know what it is. It might be the case that's on the iPad. I'm not sure. But anyway, that was the millstone. We had 4 barbers from that first day. All 4 dimes. I think Charlie had 1. I think Rich had 3 of them, as I recall. The 2-cent piece that the homeowner I hear it again. Rich, I'm going to mute you for a second because it's getting really bad for whatever reason. Let me see. I don't know why. I'm going to mute Rich and Lynn for a minute, and then I'll bring it back in again. The 2-center that the homeowner found. Up. Let's see.
I think we're unmuted.
Oh, you're on. Okay, I was going to say because I just heard a pop again.
I think you did it twice by accident.
All right. At the moment, I don't hear it. We'll see. I might have to send you a microphone, Rich. I bought this really nice one. I might have to get one at your mom's house.
Okay.
It helps a lot. The Walk in Liberty $50 that Doug found, which was I think your most recent $50 also, Doug.
Yes.
I remember Doug worked hard for that one.
Oh, it was about 9-10 inches deep under roof. We started doing live big. It just drug on so long that I ran out of film in my camera.
Yeah.
Large cents there, drape bust large cents. There was KG2 large cents. There was US half cents. There was this crazy Canadian thing that I found that was like hand worked. All sorts of things. So, because we found so much stuff, that's why we decided to go back and we're going to kick off this one with exactly, what we found. Jersey Ray Diggs is in the house. The Bandit is here. Detecting PA, Keith Beep. Thank you, sir. Shannon Bortner, Gary Lacarte. He said so many war nickels. They're coming up today, Gary. But let's kick this off and let's take a look. Oh man, that popping sound. I wish I could figure out what the heck it is, Rich.
Yeah, because we couldn't have been more still.
I know. Your mom is still when she's away too. I can't figure out what it is.
We're not even touching the table that it's on.
Not
Maybe
at
you're
all.
breathing too loud. Hold your breath for a while.
2 hours?
We're not going 2 hours tonight.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. So here's the first dig. We started in the backyard, which was much bigger, even though we found the first trip the oldest and most stuff in the front yard. We did start off in the backyard, and during the live stream, I like to include some of the comments from the videos. So just this opening scene of showing the back of this 1740s house. This comment from username MTZD2QJ. Wow, I wonder how long it took him to think of that username, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't taken.
That's funny.
Thank you, Charlie. Beautiful old home. Yes, it was a beautiful old home. Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
Let's see. The first find of the day was Rich's little scarab beetle. Remember this thing? Well, of course you remember it, Rich.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Now that was not sterling, right? That was like costume.
I don't think it was. It could have been, but I didn't clean it up enough, I guess. I just thought I saw some chipping. So
What's really cool is, well, there was a comment on the next picture. I'm going to bring that in. Here it is. From Rick Tripp. He said the beetle pendant could have been from the era right after King Tut's tomb was discovered, because Egyptian fashion was a huge surge.
That's right.
That was back in like the 1920s or so. So it's very possible that that was inspired by all the hoopla of King Tut's tomb. Doug, can you pronounce King Tut's full name?
Tutankhamun.
That's right. You win.
What do I win?
You don't win anything. You win me not kicking you off the show tonight.
Okay.
But no, that was a great first start for Rich. I mean, whether it was costume or not, I don't know. It was something that was missed. And when you find things that you missed right off the bat, kind of gives you a good, exciting part of the day. Egyptian revival, said Shannon Bortner. I like that sound. Let's see. After the scarab beetle, this was my first find of the day, Doug. Now, this might not be anything exciting, but it was an escutcheon of some sort off of like a trunk or something. Rich, I'm going to mute you again. It's picking up. Let me see if you're muted at the moment. This escutcheon that I found that may have been off of like a trunk or I'm not even sure. But the only reason I included it in the live show, Doug, is because I got a nice picture capturing Doug in the middle of my escutcheon.
Yeah, there was a lot of comments about that.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. Well, because I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Brando Magnifico, who is one of my favorite usernames that comments, said he's got a feeling it's not the first time Doug peeped through the keyhole. Rich, I'm unmuting you again, only because that's really funny, and I missed hearing your laughter from Brando's comment.
that was great.
Now, this wasn't the actual photo from the video. In the video, in real time, when I panned up, Doug was blurry, so I photoshopped a better one in to just capture the essence of what we were going for. But that is my actual escutcheon, though, Doug. There's no denying
That
my
is
escutcheon.
actually me looking through it.
That's actually you and the actual discussion. They were just from two different times that I pieced it together just so people can appreciate it more.
So, somebody called me Donut Doug.
Donut Doug?
Yeah, my one grandson calls me Dougie Donut.
That might be one of the worst nicknames I've ever heard.
Hey, we're fond of it.
The bandits called you Oreo Man. Scott Cash from the Missouri Hunt.
Wow.
He wants to frame that, Doug. Maybe I'll print it out and you can send Scott Cash an autographed copy of you inside of my keyhole discussion.
Yes.
Peeping Doug from Toledo Tab. This is the kind of stupid stuff that I love, Doug. I enjoy this maybe more than anything else. just goofy shenanigans.
You know, we might be able to market that along with my rap sheet for all the peeping Tom.
You know, you look like Doug a little bit. You remember, like in the '70s, like I remember a lot of the baseball players, like Bake McBride, had like a big afro on their head.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a big afro on your head.
Yeah. Yeah. I do look a lot like Bake McBride.
Yeah, you look like Bake McBride.
Yeah.
Old baseball reference there.
Yes.
All right, let me see what we got next. Thank you, Brando. Magnifico. All right, then Rich called me over. Didn't know what he had, but he said he had a screaming high tone. He was kind of in an area that we didn't hit much all that long. And when I walked over, he had something interesting, at least, Doug. He had this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, not super duper old by any means, but how often do we find these presidential dollar coins? Doug, have you ever found one?
I'm glad you asked.
I did.
You know, I have found numerous these dollar coins, and you know where I found them?
No.
In schoolyards, the playgrounds.
Oh.
So the kids would bring them to school, to buy something at lunch and lose them out in the playground.
See, we don't hunt a lot of public places like schools and things like that. That's probably why we don't find many of these. I wonder if other detectorists find a lot of these.
I guarantee you, many would find them in schoolyards.
Because I'm thinking, Doug, like even in just my living life, and I handle money because I'm a human being. I can't remember how many of those coins passed through my hands in everyday life. Probably less than 3 ever, like in change or whatnot. So who even had them to lose?
Yeah. The school kids do, though.
Hey, Jason, I actually found one at Lynn's house when we detected Lynn's house.
Really?
You did?
Yes.
Remember
Which president was on yours?
I cannot recall, to be honest with you. Because I called you over, and that's what it was. President.
Rich, do you remember who was on the other side of this dollar coin that you found in the video? Don't you cheat. Don't you cheat.
How am I going to cheat?
I don't know. I just wanted to I just wanted to accuse you of potentially cheating.
Oh, I brought that coin with me, actually. No, I don't.
Wow, you don't even remember. Doug, do you remember who was on it? Lynn, do you remember who was on Rich's coin?
I don't.
It's a brain fart situation because you put me on the spot.
I have a picture of it. That way I can let you off the hook. But FJB 4750 said he found one of those at the Hammonasset State Park on the beach. Doug, where is the Hammonasset State Park? What state's that in?
I would guess either Maine or somewhere up on the Great Lakes.
I was going to guess Maine too. That sounds like a Maine type of name.
Whoever put Hammonasset up there, let us know.
I don't know if they're here today. Lynn, do you know where Hammonasset State Park is?
No, maybe, I don't know, Massachusetts or.
All right. We're all kind of saying New England, I guess. All right. Well, thank you for the comment, FJB. And I do have a picture of it, Rich, to let you off the hook. You're probably cheating right now. But there he is, James Buchanan.
James Buchanan.
Yeah.
He's a Pennsylvania boy.
Was he?
Yeah.
I saw Team Lynch in the chat said they found a bunch of them on the beach, which I guess, is a more likely scenario to find them.
Yeah.
And I also saw that Buff Nav 4269 said he found 5 in one day at a local park. Wow. It's just not something that we find a lot. I mean, we go out an awful lot, and I think I only recall seeing 2 or 3 in the history of being me, at metal detecting. So I don't know, interesting coin. So congratulations, Rich. Now you can cheat. Chris said you can cheat now.
Yeah, I looked it up anyway.
Oh, Karen, KK Karen looked up the park, said it's in Connecticut.
Connecticut. Jason, I said I found one at Lynn's house.
Right.
Found one across the street when we detected.
Oh, that house across the street. Yeah. Okay.
Also,
I found some good stuff at that house across the street.
Yeah.
I think. Well, never mind. I was going to say I think the homeowner passed away. I heard, and he was a really nice man. I didn't want to bring the tone of the show down.
Well, he did, and she is not far behind, I'm afraid.
Oh, Lynn, come on. How can you say that out loud? That's terrible.
I know. I know it. She's
They were a really nice couple. And, unfortunately, some of a lot of the old houses that we do are owned by older couples. And over the years, Doug, I mean, we've had a lot of really friendly homeowners that, we had a good relationship with, unfortunately pass on. And it's, it's one of those things,
A good thing
It
about
is sad.
them being older, though, is if they've been there for a long time, they're going to know if their property's been detected or not.
Yeah, usually they do know. Oh, I forgot to bring it back in again, Rich. So hold on. There's James Buchanan. I told you who it was, and you couldn't see it. You couldn't see it.
I figured you.
I know.
What's going on?
And I do see Teresa, the treasure hunter, one of our moderators. Thank you, Teresa, for coming in.
And Prairie Pirate.
Oh, Prairie Privateer. That's David.
Dave and Laura Chumley.
You know what I did, Doug? And I'm blaming you for this.
Go ahead.
The last quarter after show, I called David. I called David's wife, Sarah.
Oh.
Because I was just like zipping along and I messed it all up, and now she hates me. She hates me. Now I know David's wife is Laura. We've talked a lot, and I just in the heat of the moment.
And we saw her out at Boone.
We saw her in Iowa.
Dinner with her, and took
my
pictures
apologies.
with her.
My apologies to the lovely Laura, not Sarah. And I see Hot Mess Fishing, Alicia.
Yeah, she's saying hello. Hello,
one of our moderators, and the newest Nokta Nomad, who will probably, at least I'm hoping, will join us next week, Doug. We're doing a special Quarter Hoarder live stream next week. Hold on, let me bring everything to a grinding halt real quick. We're doing a special quarter after live stream next week, because not only am I going to be giving away the brand new Nokta Triple Score detector, simultaneous multi-frequency, comes with 2 coils, Bluetooth headphones, but I'm going to have a special guest of Delic from Nokta on the show for a whole hour. We're going to be talking detectors, what's coming down the pike, new technology, the whole kit and caboodle. So make sure you guys tune in next week. You might just walk away with a brand new machine. What do you think of that, Dougie?
Oh, that's exciting. Am I eligible?
No, you're not eligible to win anything.
I was just going to ask that, Doug.
You're not eligible to win anything, Doug.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, later on I will I'm going to give more information on what you got to do to enter. Gives you incentive to stick around.
Jersey Ray's in.
Jersey Ray Diggs. Oh, I had a question for Jersey Ray Diggs. I'm trying to give this away next week. I might do that random picker, which I could not get to work last week. The one through StreamYard. If anybody knows how to make that thing work, I don't know. It just kept locking up trying to run it. So I might have to call her later tomorrow or something and figure it out. All right, let's see what else we got, Doug. We haven't got through many finds yet.
Okay.
So, Rich's presidential dollar. Then the next one, this one was pretty cool. Oh, Alicia can help too. All right, this was Rich's find. He called me over. He had a 2-piece button in his hand. Rich, I'm going to mute you again just for a second, but I'll bring you back in on the talking points. He had a 2-piece button in his hand, and he called me over for it. Real large, bigger than a quarter, yada, yada, yada. So after we kind of brushed it, this is the image I saw on it, which, Doug, we can never seem to agree on what animals are on buttons.
Yeah.
Now, I went with fox. What did you go with, Doug?
I think it's either a bear or a fox. I'm leaning more towards a bear, though.
A bear. And then, Charlie, what do you think that is? Oh, you think bear?
I think it's a bear.
All right. I'm still going with fox. But let me see the next picture here if I can bring this in. I must have had a gazillion people, Doug, tell me that it was a Cub Scout button. What the heck?
Well, that would be a bear. Wouldn't that be a bear?
Well, it could be a bear or something, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is, because here's the back of the button. And I know it's hard to see. It wasn't real good shape. I'm going to unmute Rich again for this.
Yeah.
But the back of the button, you can clearly see it says sporting design. And those sporting design buttons are usually like hunting buttons, like for hunting foxes and things like that. We found several of them. We found a couple of them in this very yard. So that's why I don't think it's scout related. I think it's more hunting related. Rich, what do you think?
I agree with you that I think it's not a scout related item. I do think, to me, it looks more like either a bear or a wolf. Because fox, I've seen a lot of foxes. I see them all the time, and it's just not
quite, yeah.
It's for some reason it's not quite
I
giving
agree.
me fox.
You see foxes all the time.
We have one
Sure.
in our yard.
Yeah, they're all
We have them in our yard.
Oh, wow. Where are you guys getting all these foxes from?
same place we get the goldfinches.
Yeah.
I can't get a goldfinch.
Ah,
I can't get a goldfinch. Touche. But my view, 1875, who I've really come to respect a lot because he comments every week and he's usually right on the money. He thought also that it was a hunting button. So having him on my side, or her, I don't even know who it is, made me kind of feel also that it was a hunting button.
Well, why can't a hunting button be a bear?
yeah.
Well, I'm not disputing the animal. I'm disputing that I don't think it's a scout related button. That was more of what I was disputing. I have no idea what the animal is. Let me go back again.
It wouldn't say sporting button on the back if it was a scout button.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if the Boy Scouts were around in the Victorian era.
No, well, that's even assuming the date. The Scouts didn't start until the 1900s, but it's not like the patent date's written on the button. We're just assuming it's Victorian because of the design, but
The back mark. I researched it.
Yeah.
It is.
He looked it up.
It is.
Look at the ears. Look how short the ears are on that. They're small ears.
That's a bear's ears.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know. Everybody in the chat, Greg Sabos thinks it looks like a sea bass.
Oh my God.
Greg, remind me never to go fishing with you.
Crafty Dragon says bear. Everybody, go ahead. Everybody, put your comments in. Let me see what animal you think it is. I'm still going with fox. Adrian Tucker says fox.
Bear.
Joe Nachetta says Lynn's a fox. Thanks, Joe, for putting the whole show down. John Lake says bear. Iron Jim 7 says bear. Kitty Lobo bear. Teresa says wolf. I didn't even factor wolf in. Kurt Rudd says bear. Wendy Olson says bear. Who, Wendy, I just mailed your hat out a day or two ago. You might even have it today or tomorrow. I'm seeing a lot of bear, Charlie. Maybe you and Doug are right. Maybe it is a bear.
Again, the thing that helps me identify it, and I may be wrong, are the ears. The ears are short and round.
They're bear ears.
Bears can't hear. Bears don't hear very well, but they have a great nose.
Great nose.
All right. Well, then maybe it's a bear. I don't know. I guess I just don't associate people with hunting bears as much as they would hunt foxes and stuff like that. But what do I know?
Clem Fandango says sheep are the only animals they have in Wales.
Only sheep.
Yeah, they just have sheep, apparently.
I'm seeing several people saying possible wolf.
Nice.
So who knows?
My first guess is bear, then to wolf, and then after that, I'm not sure.
Well, we'll never agree. We'll agree to disagree.
So
based on the chat, Doug, bear seems to have it though.
I have to go along with that.
Yeah, bear, and then
dingo.
What?
A dingo.
Dingo.
There you go.
Jason Fogel must be from down under.
Yeah.
Dingo.
So it's either a bear, a dingo, or a sea bass. We're not really sure.
Sea bass.
All right. Anyway, again, I'm going back now. The sporting design, and then this is the back of it. The impression, because it's a 2-piece button. It was pushed in, which causes a depression. And I made a joke to Lynn that she could make cookies from that little mold there. because Lynn bakes something for us every week we go. Lynn bakes cakes or pies or some dessert. So I thought, man, how cute would it be if we had little tiny quarter-inch
bear cookie.
bear
That
cookies?
would be a challenge.
I
Yeah.
gotta say, from the back, those ears look more like wolf ears to me than bear ears.
Don't start again. We're already just going to concede and say bear. Greg Sabo now changed it from sea bass to mustard tiger, Doug.
Okay.
So mustard tiger, yeah. We're all over the board. Oh, and then the other reason I thought it was a hunting button is when we were there last year, Doug, I found this button about maybe only 20 feet from where Rich found his button.
Mhm.
And we had the same argument last year. What was this animal? I was saying fox, you said coyote, Charlie said whatever, sea bass or whatever. But
That was fox for sure.
That is more fox-like.
all
Just
right.
the tail. That tail.
Well, Silver Assassin Metal Detecting said last year's button is an otter or a badger. No, nobody knows. A chupacabra. The chupacabra. So, all right. Anyway, this was last year's button, not from this new one. All right. Let's see. Oh, the next find was found by the homeowner, and this homeowner. We have a lot of these kind of homeowners that want to join us all day, are really fun, really friendly, but just don't want to be on camera. And I get that. So I try to film only like their legs or their shoes or whatnot. And he did find good stuff. And then Franz Giel said, anyone remember the Unknown comic? You remember the Unknown comic, I'm sure, Doug.
Absolutely.
From the Gong Show. He was the comic that wore a brown paper and he drew a face. Maybe we should bring a bag with us for all the homeowners that don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
And then we can include them more.
That would be fun.
There's nothing better than knocking on a stranger's door and digging holes in their yard all day while simultaneously asking them to wear a bag on their head.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
A plastic bag or a paper bag?
Well, I told Doug a plastic bag, but the homeowners, a paper bag. Now, if something happens, though, we do have shovels, or at least most of us do, Rich.
Very good point.
Anyway, good idea, Franz. I will ask about the bag on the head going forward. But this find from the homeowner, not quite as good as his 2-cent piece, but he got that awesome war nickel. The first from this yard of 3 silver war nickels, which might be a record for us in one yard, Doug. 3 silver war nickels.
In one day.
In one day, but even in one yard. Let's see here. So that was his find. I think I might have a picture of the front. Yeah, there's the front. Looks like 1945, 35%, war nickel. And we did pluck 3 of them. The homeowner also got this Indian penny, which was up to this point, the oldest find of the day, 1865. So the homeowner representing, Doug, the 2 center, he had some jewelry the first time. We go back again. He had some, silver coin, Indian pennies. He did really good. I think he was swinging. Did I bring the Simplex Ultra for him, or did I bring the double score for him?
I think he used the Simplex, but not sure.
Doug, in my room, you can't see it because I have this backdrop up right now. Hold on, I'm going to bring it in full screen here. I have this backdrop up. You can't see it, but behind this backdrop, I've been filming these tutorial videos all week. I have in my room, no lie, 24 metal detectors lined up on my wall right now for all this hoopla that I've been doing. So if anybody out there wants to see some review videos and they're going to, hopefully with a little bit of funniness built in, make sure you watch the show.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, sir.
For Doug, why the silver in the nickels during the war?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you seem to know a lot of things.
Because they needed nickel to make shell casings. So they took the nickel they would have put into pennies and used it in shell casings during the war. and just put the silver in because there was plenty of silver. Put that in the nickel.
Okay, I thought you'd know that answer.
I heard that the nickel during the war was actually more valuable than silver.
Yeah. Well, that's why.
So
Okay.
So why don't they just make the shell casings from silver?
I think nickel's harder. I think it's
Uh,
the enemy weren't vampires, Rich.
you had to shoot them in the heart with a silver
if they were
bullet.
vampires, we would have made them out of silver. But yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I forgot to. I almost started the slideshow without letting people see it. Rich, come on, help me out here, guys.
I don't know what you're doing.
I know. I barely know what I'm doing.
Nobody knows what he
I barely
does.
know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. This whole thing's held together with toothpicks and bubble gum. All right, so let's see. After the homeowners, this was Doug's find. Now, I've mentioned it before. Everything that Doug finds that looks remotely shiny, he yells out silver, and everyone comes running. He must do it 19 times an hour.
I'm like Peter, the guy who cries wolf. Peter Wolf.
Yeah.
Peter. Oh yeah, Peter Wolf. I was thinking Peter Frampton, but he didn't cry wolf.
No.
Yeah. Mike Slater is here. How are you, Mike? Yeah. So Doug screamed out, "I got not only silver, but he screamed out, I got Spanish silver." So then we all drop what we're doing and run over it. Now
He got you over there, didn't it?
it did. Well, I would have came over anyway, Doug.
Does look right there. That does look like it could be
Kind of.
It does look like it was something weird going on.
Yes.
Besides
me.
Now we brushed it. This is what he had. It was still cool though, Doug. It was a Mazuma gum token, which, Doug, I think our group has probably found more Mazuma gum tokens than everyone else in the entire world combined. What do you think?
I think the Quarter Hoarder show put Mazuma gum on the map. Nobody's heard of it until we started finding all those.
Not only do we find them, but I make a big deal out of every one because I just think they're fascinating. It was only around for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then and we must have found, Doug, over 40 of them. And I've only seen one or two other detectorists ever find any of them. And for some reason, we own stock in Mazuma.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doug got the Mazuma gum token, and then Doug sang a song when you got Doug. Do you remember the song you sang?
Yeah. It was based on the Marine hymn.
Sing them the bar, Doug, because there was a bunch of comments on that.
Okay, it was from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. So I went with from the jaws of Mazuma to the shores of New Jersey.
Did you say New Jersey? I don't remember.
No, but I thought of it afterwards.
Yeah, now you're making it better. At the moment, it wasn't even like that.
Yeah. Just don't ask for a second verse.
Yeah. Well, because somebody in the comments actually gave me that one. J Diggs History gave the "to a yard in New Jersey" line. So kudos to J Diggs History. And then there was a funny one.
People pay attention.
Life is good. Enjoy each day. Said, I hope Dog Tag Doug finds a gold coin and uses it to buy singing lessons.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. So kudos to Doug for even thinking of the song and for calling us all over. Oh, I see the Key Date Kid here, who is the exclusive maker of Excalibur shovels.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for mine.
I know he saw Rich snap his blade in half this week, so maybe we'll work out something, Rich. I do have some of those coming up. It's very rare that you snap a shovel in half. It was not an Excalibur that he snapped in half.
I still don't. The ground was soft. There was no roots.
You're just abusive, Rich.
I don't know. It didn't even bend. It just all of a sudden.
You know what's crazy though, Rich, is I've been detecting every week for 10 years and Doug for probably with me for 8 years. In the 2 or 3 years I've known you, you've snapped 2 long handle shovels in half. I've never even broke a tooth off mine or know anyone, but you broke 2 in half. What's going on?
I don't know. Could you imagine if I had a wooden handle on my shovels?
Aye.
It'd be
I
every
used to
other
bust.
week.
I always bust Brad's chops, Green Mountain Brad, because all the good gear he's got and camera and all that, he uses a wooden hand shovel. And I say, Brad, you're digging with roots in the woods. Like you got to go through. Like it looks like you got your shovel at Dollar General. So, all right, let me see. All right, back to the show.
John Ramoska is in.
Oh, one of my favorite Chicagoans, John.
Yeah, he says that Rich is eating too much spinach.
I do eat a lot of spinach.
I don't know. You got to maybe dip your shovel blades in spinach or something. I don't know. I saw Joshua Sipes in the chat too from Vets Dig Beeps. I had a comment earlier. Someone noticed my lanyard and asked me about it, and I did reply to them. But I'll have a link coming up in a little bit if you need a lanyard for your pinpointer. VetsDigBeeps.com, the official lanyard of the Quarter Hoarder channel, Doug.
Yeah.
It's the official lanyard.
The official.
All right, let me see here what else we got. I lost track where I am. This was my cool find, Doug. You know, the guy who does the filming doesn't get a lot of finds, so I always make a big deal when I do. But I got this piece, and I was like, ooh, I got something interesting, you know, so I call in and Rich over. Now, this is what I got, Doug. Now, we found, or at least I was pretty sure I knew what it was. Doug, what do you think this is?
I thought it was a picture hanger.
Same.
For a wall.
Yeah, I thought it was a picture rail hook off the trim.
Yeah.
And let me see. I think I have a photo.
From the
front, side, and back there of my picture rail, which I was 93.6% sure picture rail hook. What was the ID? But then I must have had like 20 people comment, Doug. No lie, at least 20. Go back and look. All saying the same thing. And I grabbed one of them by Fog Whisper 22 because I like that name, Fog Whisper. He said, I think your picture holder is actually a, Lynn, you speak French. I don't. How do you pronounce that word?
Well, it's chatelaine, and I should have known at the time what it was. That's exactly what it is.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So I'm changing my ID from picture rail hook to chatelaine or whatever the heck you pronounce that thing.
That word's not in most people's vocabulary. Charlemagne. And I have a picture of one, so you can kind of see, Doug, what this is the back. The back of what the one I found on the right, and an actual Sharpener or whatever the heck you called it on the left. And I have a picture of Doug's high school girlfriend in the center.
No. That's an umpire from the 1800s.
An umpire? What are you talking about?
Yeah, they carry those kind of things to, adornments to.
No, I think all the commenters changed my mind, and you can see from that long tongue that I do think it is a chatelaine, and you can see him hanging off that Victorian woman's belt.
Chatelaine
had sewing tools on it and other things that they would use on a daily basis.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Learned something new there. Didn't even know the word existed until this week's episode, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Show me treasure finds are very attractive.
Does anyone know what a hamlet is?
Oh, yeah. Doug got me with a new word this week, too, Lynn. I don't know if I told you or not.
A very small town?
We were driving to this house we were hunting this past weekend.
Oh
yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, amazing old house, like early 1700s, but whatever. But Doug said that the house was in a hamlet. Mm-hmm. And I was like, in a hamlet? What are you talking about? And he said, hamlet is like a small borough within a town. I'd never heard that word before. So I had to Google it, hoping he was wrong so I could bust his chops, but he was right. Hamlet is like a small borough. Charlie, have you heard that word?
Yes, I have.
Rich, you heard it?
Yep.
Lynn?
Yeah.
Has anyone not heard the word hamlet used as a noun like that?
It's an everyday word.
It's an everyday word?
Everyday word.
Lynn, I've been on this earth for half a century. I've never heard it used in that way.
Yes.
Never.
Often.
from reading, I guess, is where I know it.
Stuck in trees. Never heard that word either. Anybody else on my side know the word
One
Hamlet
person-
as referring
one
to a
person
I've heard
borough?
it often over the years.
148.
Absolutely.
I can't believe. Well,
Thanks,
look at
Greg.
that. I'm getting a couple of Mike Slater. Never heard of it. Mud Swat. Never heard of it. He's smart. Nick Huffaker. Never heard of it. Ken Hurst is late. Ken, do you know the word Hamlet? Have you ever heard of it? A lot of people. Charles Shelton, no. Gopher Bill, no. John Ramoska thought it was a small pig. Are you hungry, John? Did you have dinner yet?
He's got bacon and ham on his
Oh,
mind.
Bacon and Hamlet. Okay, I get it.
Wendy Olson says Shakespeare, and that's
Well,
It's
that's
an
the only
omelet.
Hamlet I know. It was like the
It's an
proper name.
omelet with ham.
Yeah, the proper name. I heard of that, but I've never heard it used in that way. Yeah, Drum Detect is in here. Said, yeah, the play, the Shakespeare, I heard, but in reference to like a noun, meaning like a borough, no, I never heard. Oh, Bobby Buddha, Underground Buddha is in the chat. Thank you, Bobby, for showing up. One of our moderators, one of our fearless moderators, Rich. All right. Anyway, back to the show. Yeah, that the pictorial hook turns out to be Charlemagne's little brother. I don't know. All right, we got something else here. I don't know what this was. Let me see. I'm
like a
losing track.
turtle.
I get so easily sidetracked, Doug.
the spot, and I know what it is.
I get so easily sidetracked. Doug, looks like Rich found something. I don't know. Oh, I know what it was. Oh, this was a good one. This was a good one.
Absolutely.
This was Rich's excited look. And I'm going to say, well, Key Day Kid, I'll announce it in a second. This is Rich's excited look. And when I see that look on Rich, I know something good's coming.
Yeah.
So check this out, Doug. Dun, dun, dun. I didn't hit the right button. There it is. This stupid slideshow I'm doing.
Oh, that's very cool.
Now, Charlie, this was amazing. I got a comment from Kay in Maine. Said all great finds, but that silver cowboy brooch is out of this world. And the ladies still wear those big brooches. I don't know. What the heck is that? Hold on. My whole thing's falling apart, Doug. Let me bring up. I got a better picture of it where you can kind of, in my hand there, you can kind of see for scale. It was about maybe 3 inches or so tall. It was all sterling silver. The Key Day Kid, who was in the chat, said Rich should have given out his best yeehaw after digging that.
That's very cool.
And yeah, you said you could have used a candle flame to heat it up. Rich as soon as Rich got it, he instantly bent it back into shape right out of the hole. Like it wasn't even uncovered with dirt, and he's already bending on it.
Well, I know very thin silver like that. I've actually bent a lot of it, so I kind of know when to be careful. And
there's a picture of the back. It does have a silver hallmark on the inner thigh, right where Doug has his hallmark on the inner thigh. And Vets Dig Beep says the cowboy is an example of what detectorists coming back again and again for, or something. So, you get what I'm saying. It was an amazing little find, probably from the 50s, when the cowboy craze was going on with all the Westerns. But that was pretty darn incredible, Doug. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. And
Cool.
if anybody sees that little cut on his left arm that's on his hip,
Yeah.
Rich did not do that.
Yeah, let me see if I can get the mouse. So right here,
Right
you
there.
can see that. Rich did not hit that. It was broken in the ground.
Yep.
It
But
was
otherwise in very good shape.
over here. It's also broken right here, Doug, on
Oh,
the
yeah, at the
on
last
the rope.
two.
He
Yep.
didn't hit that either. Believe me, if he hit it, I would have been the first one to call him out on it.
if I hit that thing, it'd be in half.
Yeah, yeah. Or your shovel would break in half.
Right.
Or your shovel, one of the two. Oh, Eric Thompson. Thank you, Eric, for the super chat. Doug, Erica has if it's the same Eric that I'm thinking it is, he's got a spot that we were invited to. I'll talk to you about it after the show.
Oh, yeah, I think I know who it is.
Oh, and who just said that? Big Wave Digging Life said, oh, yet another mold for Lindiana Jones's cookies.
Oh. Good idea.
That would be a big cookie, Lynn. That would be like a big animal cracker size cookie.
Yeah,
And
that was a good-
cowboys and bears are
Yeah. One of the best finds of the day, though. Awesome one there for Rich.
Jason, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I was not with you at this hunt, and I was wondering, did he find this where it was wet? I know last time we were there, it was very wet in the backyard, and we didn't detect a large area. Was this found where it was wet, or was it found where we already detected over?
We had already detected there.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, and it was in the drier portion.
And
You're thinking more in the back where
back.
he had where it was like a swamp.
Charlie,
right,
if you remember when you were there last year, you found an aluminum disc that actually had the name Charlie etched in it.
right, yeah.
He found it about 5 feet from where you found that aluminum disc.
Oh, okay, all right.
And what's even funnier is, yeah, it was in the middle of the yard where we've all been
Wow.
a lot of times, but the 2 feet from that cowboy, I found was it a
Merc.
Merc?
Yeah,
he
Merc.
found a Merc. The
And,
Merc didn't make the after show.
right. But it was back-to-back high times
Yeah.
in an area we've
Now-
all been.
Was this the fourth time hunting there? The fourth or third?
The third time we were there, but I think 2 of the times there, I had to break into 2 videos because we found so much. So there's been 5 videos, but really 3 trips
Wow.
for one house. And it's not like the yard was enormous. It was just loaded with good stuff. I think
It
in
was-
total, maybe it's somewhere around 16 or 17 pieces of silver. There was probably about 6 large cents, maybe a dozen buttons, not a ton of buttons, but the ones we did get were really cool. Just a lot of stuff.
I'm thinking that area was less than 2 acres.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Less than 2 acres.
Less than 2 acres. Incredible.
We also found probably over 50 wheat pennies and about maybe 9 or 10 Indians, most of which were right around that fatty or mid 1860s. So, yeah, really, really good stuff.
Flying eagle too.
Well, I didn't want to tell Doug yet, but yeah, Charlie found a flying eagle there. But it didn't make the video because you thought it was, you didn't know what it was, and you didn't realize it was a flying eagle till you got home later that night.
We kept digging. I remember we kept digging a bunch of Wheaties that were muddy. They were all muddy. Remember, we hit a hot spot of Wheaties,
Yes.
and we kept digging. And I put a Wheatie in my pocket, kept putting them in my pocket, and the one was an eagle, flying eagle. Yes.
Yeah, I saw the Key Day kid said, yeah, we had a lot of people honking at us. I don't know if they're honking at us, but the front yard was like 2 roads converged together into like a point, and the house sat right on this point. So in the front yard, it was incredibly noisy because you got cars from 2 different roads sitting at a traffic light. They're idling, motorcycles, 18-wheelers. Everyone's honking at each other. It was real noisy. And the whole day we were there, it was raining too. So,
And I remember people were like, "Hi, what are you guys doing? Finding any gold and all that?"
a few people stopped and we would talk to them. And hey, you always talk to people. You don't know. They could have lived in an old house around the corner. Oh, it's funny, Charlie, talking about that. The house that we're doing this weekend, we were talking. I must have talked to that woman for an hour while Doug was waiting to leave last week. But the woman who owns the house we're doing this weekend owns 2 or 3 other houses, 2 of which are catty corner to this house. So, and she already gave us permission to do all 3 of them. So Doug and I have to ride by and see how much land is there to detect, but we do have access to a whole bunch of them. This one was super nice.
Nice.
So we might even be able to walk across the street and come back yet again. All right, let me bring this back in. Where am I? All right, so that was the end of, I'm calling it part 1, even though it was all the same physical day for us because we found a whole lot, and the video was like a half an hour with all the goofy shenanigans that we do.
Yeah, that's the front yard, the way it looks.
Yeah, this is the front yard, and if you kept going away from that picture, it does come up to the point. I think some of them you'll be able to see as the machine's pulled back further.
It's not a big yard.
No, but it was really, there was just a ton of stuff there. And the house goes back to 1740. And right across the other side of the street, there is not a tavern. What do you call it, Doug?
Tavern.
Yeah, I guess it's a tavern.
It's an inn. It's an inn.
An inn, whatever you call it. It's been there since colonial times.
Yeah, it's a small hamlet.
In that small hamlet, right. And Charlemagne was there. But in the inn across the street, the inn has like a plaque inside that says George Washington planned the Battle of Trenton in the inn. Now I can't verify that, but it's been there that long, and supposedly GW planned the Trenton battle. You know, the famous one where he crossed the Delaware on the boat and you see all the paintings. He planned it right across the street in this inn that's still standing.
Yep.
Now that could just be a lot of who shot John. You know, we hear that a lot. Doug, how many houses do we do that we hear that George Washington slept there, stayed there, flew a paper airplane through there?
Well, every one that Charlie gets is out his way. George Washington was
marched his troops around. Marched his troops around. It's like every day George Washington just marched his troops around circles all over the place.
You knew sooner or later metal detectors would be invented, and somebody would want to find what his troops dropped. So.
Yeah, we hear the George Washington stuff all, but hey, you never know. We're gonna get another GW button soon enough. I guarantee it.
3.
Or a flying eagle.
Well, wouldn't that be nice, Doug? I see a lot of people in the chat talking about.
Retire when I get my flying eagle.
Are you going to retire?
Yeah.
No.
Well, we're going to keep you from getting it then.
Right.
All right, let me bring it back in again, Doug. So this will be part 2, which was the same physical day. So this was the first find. I said the first find, the next find, but the first find of the new one. It was kind of a part 2 when we were there, in the sense after Rich found the cowboy, the skies opened up and it rained pretty hard for about a half an hour, and we kind of ducked into the cars. So in that sense, it was kind of a part 2. Rich found this thing, which, do you remember what it was, Rich?
That was another Mizuma.
Another Mizuma token.
Wow.
So, Doug, I said we already found the most ever. We're just adding to our total.
Yeah.
This one is.
I think it's Robert E. Lee. You said.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Robert E. Lee.
It sure doesn't.
But it does say Robert E. Lee. You can see the name
because it says Colonel Lee.
Does it say Colonel?
Oh, that's right. Do you know that Colonel Lee actually led the charge against John Brown at Harper's Ferry at the Arsenal prior to him becoming a Confederate general?
Really?
Yes, he was a West Point graduate.
Oh, he was a super respected.
Oh yeah, and his claim was that whatever way Virginia went, he would follow.
Right.
Because he lived in Arlington, Virginia, and when they chose to secede, he went along with Virginia. But he was a colonel and did fight against John Brown in the raid where they were holding the arsenal at Harper's Ferry. Little factoid.
Actually, that wasn't little at all. It went on for a really long time.
Trying to fill some dead air.
But you're right. It's funny how back then, if you think about it, you know, the United States of America, like everyone was really had allegiance to their state, and then the states worked together to make this country, where now you don't even think about that. It's more like federal everything, and there's no allegiance to a state as much like it was back then. At least not from Doug. I never hear Doug. He's like, oh, I love my state. Yeah, I never hear that.
I've lived in so many of them.
Yeah,
they're all like home.
All right, the next find was from you, Dougie. You had a couple of good ones here.
I woke up.
Yeah, you had a couple of good ones. Let me see what you got here. There it is. Doug found this in pieces. Doug did not nick it. He found it this way.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful design. And I think the next one right there.
Unfortunately, it's missing one piece right up at the end, the
That's
fatty
okay.
part.
You're not going to reuse it anyway.
No.
Gina Cassidy, 1763, says, hooray for Doug finding the silver spoon. I know he loves silver now if he only gets that flying penny.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Junior.
I mean, Doug does love the silver. You know, like I said, he calls us over for every other thing and yells out silver. And once in a while, he calls it right.
Yes.
But that was a beautiful spoon. One of two. And man, Doug, the other one might even be nicer. We'll have to see. Smoking Louie, I know it sounds like it's my microphone, but I guarantee it's not. If you're hearing the popping, I'm muting Lynn's right now. You probably don't hear it. I can't figure it out, but we heard it in the pre-show. We're not sure what it is. And she's not moving. It's just one of those weird things. It's haunted. Her house is haunted. I just unmuted her. Now I hear it slightly, so bear with us. So anyway, yeah, Doug's very nice spoon there. And then there was a picture. I couldn't find the comment this week, but I get the comments a lot, Doug. Why do you wear the hat where like you cover one of your eyes like a pirate?
It just falls. You know, when I wear it around the proper way, it just closes in on me. So I turn it around, and I guess with the headphones and everything, it just pushes down.
Sometimes I'll be filming you, and that strap is literally like way down here, like you're totally blind, and I don't see you like fidget with it. It's like you don't even care. It's like you've just given up seeing. You're like, whatever.
I'm not trying to win a beauty contest or a best.
You can't even see. Like you're literally blinded.
You know, I have a saying about the clothes you wear.
The clothes I wear?
Or, no, in general. You dress to please yourself, and you undress to please someone else.
Ooh, okay.
That's just a little on the border of PG and.
Yeah. Oh, the Key Day Kid also saying that silver is antimicrobial. I heard that, Doug. I heard that
really
in the day when sailors were sailing across the sea and they had like a big barrel of drinking water, they would put silver in that drinking water because the silver in the bottom would keep bacteria from forming and have the water last longer. There's some properties. Have you heard that, Rich?
I have.
Yeah.
I heard that with copper also.
Yeah.
Maybe copper. I'm not sure. Now, someone told me
both in agriculture, colloidal silver and copper are used as fungicides.
Really?
Yeah, copper will kill fungus. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We put on our cattle on their hooves.
Well, there you go. Nice little thing. I also have in my pool filter, I put a little piece of copper pipe in there.
Yeah.
And just from the water passing by there, it's supposed to do something. I don't even know what it's doing. I just figured I'll put it in there.
If you ever look at a roof, like a house roof,
I've never looked at a roof. Where are they? Are they on the top?
I was on the roof today, by the way. But anyway.
What are you doing, like Charlie? Be careful.
Yeah, I know. I had a harness on and stuff, believe me. But on a roof, if it has copper piping and stuff, there's no mold or fungi on a roof that has the copper.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like a lightning rod, rod, the copper runs down the roof, and that's free of any type of mold or algae or fungus.
Look how much everyone's learning today.
Real quick.
I see a comment from Greg Sabo and said that's why doorknobs used to be brass. I guess so bacteria wouldn't live on the doorknob.
Right. Good point.
If anybody, one more quick.
I don't know why. I don't know why I have two pairs of glasses on, Chris.
You always do.
I know, because these glasses I need to see, and these glasses are just part of my shtick.
If anybody has a slug problem in their garden, slugs will not crawl across copper. So put copper tape, line your garden, your raised bed or whatever it is with copper tape. and because it creates a chemical reaction that kills them.
Oh.
They will
You know what's
not-
funny, Rich, is up until about 7 seconds ago, I never even knew they made something called copper tape.
Yeah.
Now, what do you use that for?
I use it for soldering.
All
Oh.
sorts of different. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Till 7 seconds ago, I didn't know that slugs were that deadly to our gardens.
Oh, I have a lot of slugs in my garden, Doug.
Yeah.
Oh,
If I go outside at night, there are slugs, Doug, crawling along that are like no lie, like 6, 7 inches long.
Yeah, those leopard slugs. They're like,
Yeah, they look like leopards. Yeah.
So you put a
Really?
crate of beer out and it'll kill them.
I have to put something on my feet because one time I stepped on one in my bare feet. Oh my God, I'm still skeeved to this day. So now I don't go out back at night unless I got at least a pair of Crocs or something on. I live near the woods. There's a ton of slugs around. All right. Little things like this is why we get so sidetracked. This is why my videos last 45 minutes.
Yeah, Mike Slater says Hamlets and microbials. Learning a couple things tonight.
Look at that, Mike. It's not
We
just
try to
metal
be
detecting.
educated.
It's not just metal detecting. Oh, and Greg said that slime's hard to wash off. It is. That slug slime, I don't know what the heck it is, but it's nasty.
Especially between your toes.
Yeah. Oh, it was bad when I stepped on it. I instantly knew what it was, and I was like, I had instant regret. But what are you going to do?
But somebody said that they do taste like chicken.
I bet people do eat them,
Big
though.
way of digging, yes.
I bet people do eat them. I'm not sure.
You see it on those survival shows, but I would have to char it up pretty good or swallow it whole.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of disgusting. I don't know if I could eat that.
If you're trying to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. Escargot. Isn't that like little snails? I mean, not quite slugs, but
Yes.
yeah.
No matter what, they're all a part of the mollusk family, mollusca.
Talking about bugs, because why not? Because this whole show is just a.
Charlie is a ex-science teacher.
He is.
He knows what he's talking about.
Charlie, did you see that? Up in the Northeast 2 or 3 years ago, we had this invasion of the lantern flies, and they were everywhere, and they were devastating trees, and they were an invasive species from, I forget, China or somewhere overseas.
Of course.
Well, this year they're saying there's an invasive species of a new spider that apparently the spider, they call it like a parachute spider, where this spider, and it's a big one too, it shoots a web up into the air and the wind catches it and blows it. So they said that these spiders appear to be raining down on you from the sky. How freaking scary is that, Charlie?
And
And
legs
they're
are like
big. They're big.
4 inches.
Yeah, they're like big 4-inch spiders coming at you from above in the sky. It sounds terrifying.
I'll definitely look up tomorrow. I'll walk around and look up.
Oh my goodness. I don't know.
I found something fun the other day at the new property I'm moving to. I don't know if everybody can see that.
Oh, is that a recluse?
No, it's a black
Close.
widow. Look at
It
the
has
hourglass red mark.
Wait, we have black widows around here, Doug?
Oh, absolutely. I got them in my shed.
Oh. Thanks for telling me after I went in your shed at night to put the cornhole game back. Now you tell me you got deadly spiders in there.
Yeah. Well, they're not deadly to humans.
Oh, I thought they were. I thought that's why they're called black widows.
Not
You
unless
could
you're
get
really
sick.
Oh, they eat their husbands, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Well, I guess they're not married, right? They're not legally married to their husbands.
Jason, you mentioned the lanternfly.
Yeah.
That started only about 3 miles from where I live.
Really? The first sighting of the lanternfly.
Yes, it came in from China. It was a stone quarry, and they were importing some marble or some type of stone from China, and it came in on the crates, the wooden crates.
We were at one house, Doug. Remember, I think Rich and Lynn were there. I don't know if you were there. There was like 4 trees in the front yard. 3 of them were perfectly normal trees, and the 4th one was so covered in lanternflies you couldn't even see the bark.
I think that was in New Jersey.
Yeah, it was New Jersey.
I was there.
Well, That
I
tree
tried
was
to get that house for years, and finally we.
Yeah.
No, I know you were there, Doug. I said I don't think Charlie was there.
that tree
No.
was probably an Atlantis tree, which is native to China.
I don't know what kind of tree. Rich is a good tree guy. Do you remember what it was, Rich? That tree. Remember, I was touching them
remember-
and they were like ping, ping,
It was
like they were making funny noises.
It was a pine tree.
Oh, pine tree, really?
Was it?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
It was tucked away deep in the hamlet.
I know exactly what.
Hamlet.
I'm going to use that all the time now.
Good.
I told you it was an everyday word.
New words you should use a couple times just
I
to
am.
get familiar with them.
I am going to use it every day.
Okay.
All right. Let's continue on, Doug, because believe it or not, there was a plan, and it's
Okay. And it shot the heck down.
it falls apart a lot. So this was Doug's beautiful silver spoon.
And my beautiful look.
Yeah, always looking good. Now, after that silver spoon, we kind of went on like a small Indian madness where I think there was like 4 or 5 found in like 20 minutes.
Yep.
Rich got the first one, which was 1889.
Why was there no Indians on the other side of the house?
Well, I said, I remember from last year, it seems like the old coins were in the front
Yeah.
and most of the relics were in the back. I don't know why. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I got one on the side.
Yeah.
On the
Well, the
side.
side wasn't real. The side has a garden in it, and I didn't want to dig in their garden, but you sure
Right.
did. And the
Yeah,
homeowner
well,
was out there actually like watching you, and she was even saying like, "Oh, don't dig up this." And Doug just digging away in her garden. I was like, "Oh God."
I knew where the flowers were. I was avoiding them.
I know, but it looks bad. I was hoping we didn't get kicked out, but
Yeah, I did get a nice 1865 Indian there.
I know it was a beautiful, even better looking than this one.
Really nice shape.
Yeah, I remember. All right, I keep stopping this. Anyway, 1889 was the first one from Rich Van Winkle.
Yes.
Then this is the second one he got, which we made a big deal over because it was an 1864 thin Indian. It was a transition year, and it was the thin variety. And that one has that weird variation where it could possibly have the L behind the Indian's ear.
Here.
I always try to look for him when we find that. Scouting for History, who comments a lot, real smart a guy. He said the L was for the engraver, Long Acre. I did know that, but I didn't put it in the video. I did not know that he was from Delaware County, Pennsylvania, Doug, right in our own backyard.
Well, keep in mind, this was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and Delaware County is like a suburb of Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, the Philadelphia Mint usually made the majority of most coins.
Right.
So almost, I'd say probably 90 or more percent of coins we find are Philadelphia Mint. We get very few San Francisco and usually Denver coins, but not a ton of them.
Right.
I thought I saw in the chat someone found in 1877. Oh no, somebody was asking. Someone found
We're
in
still
1877.
looking for one.
Yeah, still looking. Key Day Kid says he dug a 1909 SVDB penny, one of the Holy Grail penny coins.
Yes.
I've never been with anyone that's ever found that coin.
I think a friend of ours, Jeff, found one.
Maybe. I mean, I've never been there when someone found one. I mean, I'm sure guys have found them when we weren't there.
Yeah.
I've never seen some of the big ones, the 16D dime, the 09 SVDB penny, the 1877 Indian. Some of those real rare ones, I've just never been around when they've been found. Anyway, Rich, Rich, did you ever look? Was there an L on this ear or not?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't look, or there wasn't one.
I didn't look, but I may have left everything there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did give them a lot. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. The next Indian that we found, Rich had a fat one. Now, when we find a fatty Indian, I get a little nervous because it very well could be a flying eagle. And if the wrong guy finds it, there's going to be a lot of tears going on. So I saw the fatty in Rich's hands and I said, oh man, if that's a flying eagle, Rich, you better run for the hills because Doug will break his shovel over your head if you. So Rich was trying to eyeball the newest fat little copper in his hand, but he turned out okay. We were able to see a shield at the top, so we instantly knew that it was at least a fatty Indian. So,
Right.
whew, off the hook there. But that was like Indian number 3 or 4 in a row.
And then he was nice enough to leave me one.
Yeah, then Doug came over because I said, Doug, we're digging fatties. You might get a flying eagle. So this is Doug's excited look, like, ooh.
Yeah. Do you have any really good-looking pictures of me?
What's great, Doug, is when you film. I started about maybe a year ago. I film everything, and this is kind of film techie dorky stuff, but I film everything in 4K for the quality, but I film everything in 60 frames per second.
Yes.
Now what that means is
you can freeze frame.
Yeah, the human eye can only see 30 frames a second. So a frame is just a picture. So like a flip book, if I were to get 30 pictures and run them back to back, the human eye can recognize 30 of them in 1 second, but no more than that. So when you film at 60 frames per second, and if I play it back, it would look normal, but I can play it back at half speed, which then creates slow-mo. But I can also go frame by frame from the entire video and pull out still photos, which I really love. So this was not like you posed for this. This was just a still photo from the 60 frame per second, which makes it really fun.
Patrick Parker wants to know, is there a good-looking picture of me here?
Yeah, there was one. When you were 7 years old, I saw.
Yeah, not for at least 45 years.
Yeah. When you were 7, you looked. It all went downhill from there.
Yes.
But anyway, Harry Bond says, "Poor Doug, I'm cheering for you. When a man wants a flying eagle, he's hard to stop."
Yeah.
Doug's been trying. It's been years now. This has been your bucket list coin. This might be the longest desired bucket lister from any of us.
Yeah.
And Doug did indeed get an Indian when he came around. You were close, Doug. This was yours. This was a thin 1865. So you missed the flying eagle by 8 years, but you're in the neighborhood, Doug.
Yep.
You're in the neighborhood.
And I have Rich to thank. He kind of left that for me, so I took.
Yeah,
advantage.
2 of Rich's were almost in the same hole, and then he left that hole, and you dug this about maybe 6 inches from where his hole was. So he must have missed one.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Yeah. You almost lifted Rich's plug up, almost like a bad toupee. You just lifted right the same one back up, and there it was.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, so after all the Indians, this was one of mine, Doug. Like I said, the guy that videos doesn't get a lot of fines, but this was one of my real fun ones of the day.
Yeah.
Came up a lower tone on the machine. It was a 20. You can see coming up there. So a signal that you wouldn't dig normally, but because there were so many targets in this house, you're kind of digging everything. And here's what I plucked out. I got that thing, Doug. Now, when I saw it, I didn't really know what it was, but I saw that it was an interesting shape. So I put it down, I cover it with a dirt bomb, and I call everybody over. You didn't come over, which isn't uncommon, but Rich and Lynn did. And Rich was trying to look past the dirt bomb, and that's why I do it, because I want to get his natural reaction. If he's staring at it, then his natural reaction is off camera. So that's why we all use the dirt bombs. And I'm one of the last people that uses the word dirt bomb too, Doug.
And ear balls.
Ear balls. Doug, I'm having a shirt made. Oh, I got a good design already for it's going to be a quarter hoarder blew my earballs out shirt. Where do you see it, Doug? It's going to be really fun.
Looking forward.
Yeah, I know you are. What size are you? You want up? You a medium?
2X.
Yeah. Oh, 2X. I thought you were a medium.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, turns out that anyway, I thought it may have been a rubber stamp. Wasn't sure. And then in the moment, we all just said, well, we're thinking finial, and we kind of just dismissed it. Turns out I got a super cool find out of this stuff.
Yeah.
here's what I got. And I must have had, no lie, 30, 40 people in the comments tell me what it was. So everyone knew but us. It was actually an old Victorian handheld pencil sharpener. And you can see on the picture here on the right,
Right, where the
blade is, it's kind of rusted off. You
Yep.
would put your pencil and just hand turn it. I have a picture here, Doug, of some that I found on eBay. I put down in the corner. Now, obviously mine isn't worth these prices, but just to show you, very similar design. The ones on the eBay pictures also have the same lettering here, which says NY, because they were made in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And they're asking outrageous prices. I mean, almost $100 for a little Victorian pencil sharpener, but looks really cool. So I was really stoked that my thing that could have been junk, that I only put in the video so that at least I had something in the video, turns out it was a really good relic.
Yeah.
So
it was filled with dirt, though, so we really couldn't see that was a.
Well, we knew it was hollow because I bumped the dirt out. We knew it was, and that's why we thought finial, that it went on, maybe not a curtain because it was kind of small, but we didn't. I don't remember any of us saying potential pencil sharpener.
No.
So it was a really cool find for me. I was really happy with that. Ron's digging the Midwest says that's awesome, Jason. Thank you, Ron. The guy, I don't get a lot of stuff, not from lack of effort, but I'm always distracted. Let me see. Patrick Cooper said Jason's mangled. I had to look this word up, Doug. Jason's mangled more old aphorisms. Yeah. His metaphors are really meta fives. Yes. I think what he meant was when I found it, I played it back because I couldn't remember what it was. I said something because I was having a bad day. In the video, I said something like, this doesn't make any sense, but I said, sometimes you catch the monkey and sometimes the monkey eats you.
Yeah.
What the heck is
that? You're mixing your metaphors. Yes.
What does that even mean? But you know, I have this weird thing, Doug, where my mouth moves 4 times faster than my brain.
I can attest to that. Yeah.
So like something that I heard vaguely once before, I just kind of spit it out with my own spin on it. So I don't know what that means, that sometimes you catch a monkey. Is that even a phrase? And then sometimes the monkey eats you. I don't even know what that means.
Sometimes you eat the bear and sometimes the bear eats you.
Okay. All right. So I was close.
Yeah.
I just substituted monkey
in there because you're spanking it all the time.
Notice there's a theme, Doug, where I don't seem to recognize bears in anything we do.
Yeah.
Like I'm very anti-bear.
They haven't been invented yet in your head.
Why do I hate bears so much?
I don't know.
All right. The heck am I even doing, Doug? All right. So that was my good find of the day. Adrian Tucker says, when do you eat the bear? I don't know. I didn't know that sentence.
Yes.
All right. Oh, then, like I said earlier, there was 3 war nickels found. The homeowner found that initial one I showed earlier. And then RVW himself found 2 more. This one here from 1943. And I saw this comment, Rich, which I thought was kind of cool. I didn't realize. Robernath said the 1943 wartime nickels have an overdate variety, 3/2. Probably worth. I didn't know that either. So those overdates means that they probably, used, the wrong stamp, and you'll be able to see some of that too. Probably really scarce. So we'll have to look at them. We do find an okay amount of war nickels.
A few a year.
Yeah, a few a year.
It was strange that we found 3 that day.
Yeah, it's not something we find a lot, and war nickels are a junky signal. Yeah. So at this house, we were digging all junky signals, where like at last weekend's house, there was so much aluminum and trash, we kind of were starting to be a little pickier with our signals, so it all depends on where you're hunting. So that was one of Rich's war nickels. Here's another one. This one did not clean up good at all caked in corrosion. This one looks like it's 1942 actually.
Yeah,
so
43.
Yeah, and the homeowners, was his a 45?
Yes. I think so.
So not only 3 war nickels, but 3 of the 4 years. That's pretty good, Doug. Not even like a duplicate.
Right.
This picture, after Rich dug the second war nickel, he was trying to clean it off, and he asked me if he can use my towel. Now, if you've never seen me metal detect, I've got so much crap hanging off my body, bags and camera bags and towels, my shovel, my long shovel hooks on my belt, my lash, so much stuff. In the video, I said there's more things hanging off me than Steven Tyler at an Aerosmith concert, which is pretty funny. I'm surprised I never made that reference before.
Right.
So Rich just kind of grabbed one of my Steven Tyler scarves and tried to clean his war nickel.
I always ask though because it hangs sort of near your crotch.
Yeah. I appreciate you asking.
I make sure I ask.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, don't just reach for anything.
Yeah.
No, it's like when I need a toothbrush and Doug will like open up his pouch and say, "Yeah, reach in and grab it." I'm like, no, I'll just let it dry naturally.
How many times did you fall for that?
I fell for it.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, Doug, why is your toothbrush so small? Oh, wait.
Jason, remember I reached in your pouch and my hand came out bloody?
Charlie, why do you? That's
You had
terrible.
that pointy thing. You had that picker thing.
Oh yeah. The new cleaning things I have, it's got like a scraping tool on one side and a jagged point that's plastic for like digging dirt out of little areas. Charlie reached in there and the thing poked his finger, started bleeding. And Charlie's like on blood thinners, aren't you, Charlie?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Yeah, I had to call Rich over to like suck on your finger until it coagulated. It was a really awkward day. I love how Rich just knows I'm an idiot.
You're a
Doesn't even
carrier
dispute
of
it.
tetanus, aren't you?
He doesn't even try to dispute it.
Charlie is the best tasting blood type.
Yeah. Yeah, Doug's snaggle toothbrush. You used to carry that snaggle toothbrush, which I hated. I think you retired that though.
No. I found it. I'll bring it Saturday.
I must not have hid it well enough from you then. I thought I hid it from you better.
I've been cleaning my garage out because, as you know, it needed it. And I came across it last week. So I will put it back in the fold.
Doug's snaggle toothbrush is a plastic brush, but it has a metal nail sticking out of it that you would like dig it, but it scratches everything up. And even if you're trying to brush it, the nail is so close. The brush scratch. I don't know why he uses it.
To irritate you.
And you used to use that tidy bowl brush. Remember that really?
Oh, yeah. I still have
like
that
this
too.
big.
Yeah.
You're trying to like brush like a coin with a brush like the size of a human head.
Yeah. For all the big hubcaps I find.
All right, let's see. We're almost done with this. We're almost done. We're gonna wrap this up soon. This is a question I had, Doug.
What's that?
My Radeon, after my Aerosmith reference, said that Aerosmith was his first concert way back in 1985. I wanted to go around the group. I'm curious, what was everyone's first concert they've been to? Doug, I'll start with you because I can't wait to hear this band that probably hasn't existed.
Well, actually,
it was Beethoven, right?
Actually,
was it Beethoven?
No, they're actually both deceased. Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn.
Oh, you were a Western fan.
It's funny how I was, I grew up down south, so I kind of leaned towards country music. And it wasn't until I met and started being with my wife that I got into classic rock. And so it was like a whole new door opening to me. So now I love country. I love rock, classic rock. And as you know, I love Il Divo.
You love opera.
Yeah.
I'm going to go around to everybody, but I thought it'd be fun to see other people's very first concerts. So just a few of them real quick. I see KK Karen said Warren Zevon was her first concert. Eric Thompson said Fred Flintstone and Friends. Is that even a real thing? I'm not sure. Adrian Tucker, MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice Tour. Wow, that would have been a winner back then. Stephen Stark, Hank Williams Jr., Marty Smith, Skid Row. I remember Skid Row. Clem Fandango, Dexy's Midnight Runners. How funny is that? I actually made a Dexy's Midnight Runners reference last weekend's video because the homeowner that was joining us wore like this one-piece romper that reminded me of that video, Come On Eileen video.
Yeah.
So how weird is that? 2 Dexy's Midnight Runners references.
Come
Boston in 1985, NEPA History and Archaeology Source, Guns N' Roses, Indie Aquatics, Scorpion and Winger, Don Williams. There's a whole bunch of them. Hall & Oates.
I'm a big Don Williams fan.
I don't even know a Don Williams song. What did that person say?
Saw him twice.
I don't even know who that is.
Country.
He was a country singer.
Oh! I don't know. I don't know anything about country. Not that I don't like it. I just don't. I never went through a phase where I liked country, so I'm really out of the loop.
He started in the 60s with a group called Poco Seco.
Okay.
And then went out on his own and was a huge country artist.
I'm seeing Elton John, Frank Zappa, Pearl Jam, Moody Blues, Billy Squier, the Beastie Boys, Al Jolson. Oh my goodness, so many weird ones.
That up, Charlie?
The Allman Brothers, Fleetwood Mac, Dr. Hook. Wow, so many of them. Charlie, what was your first concert you've ever remember seeing live?
I went to the first concert because the fellow married one of my students. Missy Irwin was a student of mine. She became a Victoria's Secret model. Now, can you guess who her husband was? A famous singer.
What's the last name? Irwin?
She was Missy Irwin. She was a Victoria's Secret model. She was a former student of mine, and she married a rock star. I'm just wondering if anyone would know who that rock star was.
Wow, Doug, any guesses?
She was a Victoria's Secret model, married a rock star, and that was my first concert I went to because of the fact that she was a student of mine. She married.
Did you get a backstage pass?
What's that?
Did you get a backstage pass?
Oh no, I did not. No.
No.
I don't know who the supermodel that married a rock star was.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. Little ditty about Jack and Diane. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
Good one. Oh, I'm seeing Billy Joel. My mom is a huge Billy Joel fan.
And my
Beach Boys. So many of them up here. Rich, what was your first ever concert you saw live?
Rod Stewart.
Wow, Rod Stewart. If you want my body. Wasn't that Rod Stewart?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. It's the only Rod Stewart song I know.
What group was he with before he went on his own?
Oh, I have no
Faces.
idea.
What?
It was with Faces.
Faces. Correct.
Oh.
Eric Thompson said I saw a Mozart concert.
I'm seeing so many of them. Grateful Dead, Iron Butterfly. I remember them. Harry Connick Jr., Marilyn Manson. Lynn, what was your first concert ever?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Me?
You're the only Lynn in the show.
I've seen so many people, but really going back there, I don't remember the first, but it was probably something like the Temptations or something.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Way back, yeah.
Doug saw the Temptations. I remember you said, Doug.
Yes.
I
And
Neil Young was my first one I saw in college.
All right.
I have a poster of yours from college, a Jethro Tull poster.
Oh
And
yeah.
it says $6 at the door.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jethro Tull, actually, Dave and I saw a few years ago, and it was a great
I've
concert.
seen him a lot. Yeah, believe it or not, I've seen most of these bands everybody's mentioning. I've seen most of them.
We've seen the Stones and
There's so many of them. Some of
the Guthrie. You guys went to Arlo.
I've seen Arlo Guthrie.
Yeah.
Alice's Restaurant.
Bon Jovi, who is right around the corner from us here in Jersey.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. That was a super long tangent. but I was just always curious because I know, fun fact about Doug, and then I'll restart this because we're getting near the end. Fun fact about Doug. I'm not sure if I even told you before or not, Lynn. But when we go away and we get an Airbnb, I try to get 2 full bathrooms with 2 showers, but sometimes they don't have it. So sometimes we have to share a shower. So if we have to share a shower,
Not at the same time.
not at the same time, but
Clarify.
Doug has this weird shower ritual where he takes his phone and he blasts at like volume 7,000 this really weird opera music. And it is so loud. I mean, the windows are shaking. And he sings along with this opera music at an even higher decibel.
Wow.
And I'm like banging. I'm like, Doug, turn the opera music.
And in Spanish and Italian.
Yeah, in all different languages. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't know. And he does it all the time. So I try to get 2 different.
Trying to create some culture in your life.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's so the decibel level is the loudest.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear anything, Jason. I didn't hear it.
No, he didn't do it the last time. But in wherever we were, Missouri or something, and he sang like the whole soundtrack. All right, let's move on from the first concert. Very, very nice. Oh, Doug, this was your super good find of the day. At least I think.
Oh yeah.
And so much so that the homeowner even came over to take a peek at this one. Check this one out, Lynn. Well, you already saw it, but Charlie, you didn't see it yet.
No.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, I love that.
So Doug got this beautiful old Colonial shoe buckle.
Wow.
Maybe for a kid. It wasn't a giant, grown up
size. It was a pretty good size.
But the most interesting thing was it had this hand forged iron, hook that was wrapped around it. And we couldn't figure out why. That's not part of the shoe buckle. Kylie's Savin's son, if I'm pronouncing it right, thought maybe it was turned into a belt buckle, and that was like the little, the buckle part that would go through your belt. Who knows?
That's a good guess.
I have another picture of the iron. There it is, right there. Now that's a hand forged piece of iron. That's a blacksmith made.
Yeah.
Just thought it was really cool. Sure would have been nice if they were together, like if they use it to hold the 2 shoe buckles together. So I don't know. Rich, you have any ideas of, or Charlie?
I've been thinking about this.
Oh, you have been?
I
not losing sleep, I hope.
No, what if somebody used it as some sort of, well, it is a buckle, but like a belt buckle or something, and they made their own time?
Well, that's what
that's what they suggested.
Yeah, that's what someone said.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So have you been thinking about it, or you just read what someone else was thinking about?
I've been thinking about it just because I can't think of another reason why you'd curl it around like that and put,
Well, the only thing I thought was maybe the other end of that hand forged piece of iron, maybe that was also a loop that the other shoe buckle was on to keep them together, and it broke. I don't know.
Or maybe horse tack. They changed it into a piece of horse tack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just thought it was really interesting. One of the best finds and one of the oldest finds of all the trips, Doug.
Yeah.
And just really cool that it had that little piece of personalized hand forged iron with it that we don't know why it was on there.
And remember, there was a blacksmith shop on that property.
Yeah.
So
they even said that, I told you that supposedly George Washington planned the Battle of Trenton across the street at the inn. They say that George Washington went across the street and had his some blacksmithing done at this house.
Right.
And whether that's true or not, who knows? But you hear a story like that, it gets you really excited. And I'm looking at a 1740s house and a 1730s inn. Very well could have happened. But great find, Doug. One of the oldest things I've seen come out of that place.
Really neat.
All right, where are we at here? Only a few left. Oh, look at that face on Rich, Doug.
Rich just saw a ghost.
That's the face of I've got something really good. Do you remember, Doug? Do you remember what it was? But don't say it out loud.
He found so many good things that
did.
day.
He did. I just like looking at that face like he saw a ghost.
That is in the front of the house.
Yeah, it's in the front. All right, there's what he found in the ground. Didn't know exactly what it was.
Yes.
I got a good action shot of the spray down, which is always fun.
Yeah.
I love the 1 dime game.
Yeah, the 1 dime game. And then here's what he's got, Doug. Gorgeous 1890 seated dime. Only Rich's second ever seated dime.
Seated coin.
Do you remember what his first one was, Doug?
Probably. What, the date or?
Well, just what made his first one special, other than that it was his first one.
Had arrows? Did it have arrows?
No.
Well, yeah, but there was something more special about it, if you remember.
Was it seated half dime?
No.
Something special about it?
Yeah.
1870.
I said it's got 2 mint.
He said it's got 2 mint marks.
Oh, yeah. Jason asked him, does it have a mint mark? Oh, not only does it have 1, it has 2.
It has 2 mint marks.
And Jason goes, "You're a rich man if it has 2." And then he's like, "Oh, CC."
Yeah, Rich's first seated dime was a Carson City, which is like a real bucket lister. Carson City, anything, especially out in
our area.
But this is only his second seated coin of any denomination ever. There was a comment from Jen Nichols who said, Rich's seated dime is beautiful. She found a 1912 heavily tarnished dime. I guess it was super tarnished, and she brought it to a coin shop, and the guy said, "Oh, it was really smart of you not to wash the tarnish off." And she said she knew not to wash it off from watching our show. What do you think of that, Doug?
That's good.
We're out there saving people's lives, Doug.
Saving tarnish.
We're like the EMTs of metal detecting, Doug.
Exactly.
I like the way it looks, but some people like things shiny. Yeah.
Well, I used to clean mine up, and then I was really depressed because I took all the character away. You know, I took all what made it special. It took 150 years to get on there, and I washed it off in 30 seconds. Now it looks like every other one. You know, lame. I like it like that, Rich. Yep. I got a picture of the back with it too. There's the front and back.
No mint
mark on that one, and not the oldest seated dime we've ever found, but you know, super nice seated dime nonetheless.
Yep.
All right, we're getting to the end. The next one's a fun one because now this was kind of fun because this is what we alluded to earlier, that unlucky Rich Van Winkle snapped his shovel blade right in half, right in the middle of the blade too, Doug, in soft, warm springtime soil, no roots, no rocks, no tree roots, just sheared it in half.
I didn't even need to pry or anything. I just
the
plug and it snapped.
Just sheer power.
Yeah. Clam Soup
Rich,
said,
but you gotta weld that, Rich? Get it welded?
No, it's not worth fixing. Clam Soup said friends of his work for Snap-on Tools, but Rich must be shopping at its competitor Snap-on. There were some really funny comments.
Yeah.
Then I got one from David Chumley, said, "Sorry about the shovel, Rich. That's what happens when you dig 1,000 holes every day." So that was pretty good.
That's true.
Yes. He does wear them out.
Hey, Rich, I'll take the pieces. I'll weld it at the farm here. Bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see how long it lasts after that. Sometimes the weld is even stronger.
I'll weld that sucker.
The Key Date Kid, who makes Excalibur shovels, which is my exclusive shovel, those are like super tempered. You're not going to break them. I see in the chat it's got a 5-year warranty on them too, so no worries about them snapping. And friends of the Quarter Hoarder channel have an exclusive discount code that he offers nowhere else, Doug. So if you watch the Quarter channel and you check out his website, excaliburshovels.com, you get yourself a discount, and they are incredible. Sue Ramsey said Rich not only nicks them, he breaks them too. Which was good. And then my favorite comment, Rich, of all of the Rich Broken Shovel comments, similar to that one, was by Max Sands, who said, "Rest in peace, Nixum Shovel. Its days of nicking are over. May your new shovel never nick another find."
That's a tongue twister.
But that was pretty good because I don't know how many things that shovel has nicked, but its nicking days are finished.
See, when it happened last year, I knew that shovel, it had a crack in it. It was starting to bend. This one took me totally by surprise. I mean, look at it. It's still perfectly.
Now, listen, I'm going to tell the name of the manufacturer. Not that I'm trying to throw them under the bus, but listen, it broke right in half. This was the Garrett shovel, right?
Yep, this was the Garrett shovel.
I don't even know what they call it, but it's the Garrett brand. And listen, Garrett is known for making good metal detectors, not necessarily for making good shovels, you know.
Quality stuff.
Yeah, I mean, their detectors might be nice, but if you want a detector, you go to a metal detecting company. If you want a shovel, you should maybe go to a shovel company, not a metal detecting company making shovels.
That's their breakaway model.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I could see if it broke on one of the welds or if the handle bent, but I mean, the physical blade snapped in half. What the heck is up with that?
And I thought this was going to be like my shovel for a while. Like, it didn't bend. It hasn't cracked. You know, it's been great. And then
so I don't know where it was made. I don't really know. This wasn't Tom Kingery. This wasn't the KG and Ringy NX5. This was Garrett makes their own shovel outside of KG and Ringy.
I broke last year.
The one you broke last year was the KG and Ringy one, but we were in frozen ground and you were really wrenching back on it. And that one didn't really break. It more just gave a little crack. This one snapped right in half.
Right.
So kudos to the old shovel. If you want a shovel, maybe stay away from the detecting companies and go to a quality shovel company like Excalibur Shovels. And then the last one, Doug, after Rich broke his shovel in half, I happened to have a spare in the trunk. So he kept on going, and that son of a gun still found stuff. One of my favorite finds of the day, too, Doug. I should have had him dig it with his bare hands so I could have a chance to find it, you know.
What is that, a salt spout?
Well, you thought it was a salt spout. This is what it looked like dirty. It was actually bent in half, and you had to pry it to even get to this shape. You'll see it in the next picture as it starts to take shape.
Spoon.
Look at that one, though, Doug.
Yeah.
I love that spoon.
Now, that's a sterling silver spoon bowl. The whole spoon would have been sterling. He only found the bowl. There was a comment from C. Deichhorn, if I'm pronouncing that right. It says, the spoon is a commemorative of a birth showing the time of birth the baby was born, and the baby on the scale at the bottom. You can kind of see the scale down here.
Yep.
And they would have engraved the hands on the clock with the baby's weight.
Oh, wow.
So this clock probably would have had two little hands coming off here that would have also been maybe silver or something that would have had maybe the name of the baby and the birth and weight. That's missing. I'd never heard of something like that, but that was absolutely stunning design.
Yeah, I did after I saw that comment. So I did look into this a little bit. And what's odd is why it doesn't have the weight or the hands on the clock.
Well, I think the hands on the clock are probably made afterward. Whoops.
Yeah, but why?
They fell off. Same reason the handle broke off. I mean, you know, there's no mystery there, Rich.
Well,
need to take it to a jeweler.
Oh.
But yeah, really cool. I'd never heard of one like that. I mean, I've seen commemorative baby spoons, but never one that would have had a personalized thing like that on them, with personalized hands. I mean, one of the best looking, reminds me, with that bowl so intricately designed, reminds me of that Alamo spoon that you found, Doug, at the Thousand Holes field. Remember, it had all
Yeah.
the design on the bowl.
Yep.
Um,
That thing was loaded with designs. Texas and
yeah.
here.
So even though you found a sterling silver spoon bowl that also had fancy on it, Doug, I think Rich beat you out for best sterling spoon of the day. What do you think?
Well, for the day, yes.
For the day, yeah, I'm saying for the day.
Yeah.
I found no sterling spoon bowl, so he beat me out too.
He did have more of the handle than I found.
Yeah, he had a nicer handle. Doug had a better handle on things.
Yes.
I never saw anything like that before.
I know, isn't that gorgeous, Charlie?
Yeah, I was wondering if the baby was born 9 months after the Battle of Trenton.
I don't know. I thought that was, I just thought it was really awesome. It's possible that maybe that was never engraved. Like they bought it to engrave and just never did it. Maybe the hands were never actually even mounted. You can see what looks like a pinhole right there in this, over here, right there in the center.
Yep.
But maybe they were never attached. They bought it and never used it.
I don't think they attached anything to it. I think they engraved it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a pinhole. I think it's a little dot for the middle of the clock that the hands would.
It would have been engraved on there.
Oh, you don't think they would have engraved the actual little hands and then they would have went through that, what looks like a hole right dead center in the clock?
No.
Oh.
I think they just engraved information on there.
Oh, okay.
Well, and engraved the hands right
onto the spoon.
So I'm confused. You said yes, you did think they had hands, or no, they did not?
It did not have like separate hands on it. It would have, the jeweler would have engraved, like they engrave your initials or whatever in a spoon. He would have engraved the hands on there.
Oh, so he would have drew the hands on there.
Yeah.
Not added physical. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Doug, what do you think of that reaction?
That's
Prairie Pirate agrees.
yes.
Dave W said he thinks it's set to 45 of. There's two people that use 45 of. Doug.
Yes.
And Dave. Well, very nice, Rich. I think that is the last one. Oh, there was another one there. DC Hoosier just saying how beautiful it was. And he thinks we should go back one more time, and we very well may, especially when we do the house that's catty corner coming up. Yeah. And that was the end of the little slideshow that spawns everything. Doug, what did you think? I mean, that was all from one house plus 2 other videos worth from last year. One of the better houses that we've done in a while.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I agree. There's reason to believe that we could go back another time and still find some neat things. So
yeah, we might be going back again. We've got we've got a lot of houses already in the books for this spring. I mean, I probably, I don't even know. I can think of, we've probably been to 5 or 6. Some of them are going to be 2 videos. Some might be 1. Some really good stuff coming up. So love the houses, love the interesting selection of things and the possibilities.
Assortment.
Yeah, such an assortment. We might not find as much colonial stuff at houses as we do in the farms, but we definitely find a larger variety of things.
Hey, Jason, I'm curious. Do you guys use a smaller coil there? I didn't take notice. Did you change your coils?
I had a small coil on. I don't know if the other guys did. Did you have a small coil, Doug?
I didn't.
Rich, did you?
No, I had the standard coil. Yeah.
I usually put the small coil on mine. I put the small coil on mine for the first house and usually leave it on for all the houses. Unless we're not finding much at the house, then I'll put the big one on and try to reach a little deeper. I enjoy the small ones because usually houses are junkier. You
Right.
find a lot of aluminum siding and those copper roofing nails and, a lot of junk. And I like to try to weed through. And that big coil, you might have 7 things under the coil and you're just not locking on the stuff. So I like the small coil around houses personally.
The reason why I asked is we were there 2 times before, and we hit that place pretty hard.
Yeah, no, we did. But I mean, look at all the stuff. I mean, going back, when we decided to go back, I wasn't sure if we were going to have a successful day or not. And I think we wound up between the 2 videos one day of maybe 8 or 9 silvers, 5 Indians, the cool buttons, that awesome cowboy, the shoe buckle. I mean, some really amazing things
That we missed.
that was all missed.
Yeah.
Metal detecting's not like fishing where you can find a hot little pond and just keep going back for years. Once you pull it out of the ground, it's out of the ground. We don't do a catch and release, which I joked with Rich. Maybe we should start doing that. You catch it and it's gone. So, but some places, and probably all places are never hunted out, but some places are more worth your while because that day one, you found such a selection, you want to go back. If day one, you're struggling to find anything, you don't even want to go back for another day.
Right.
But this one was great. Prairie Pirates had that LG24. That's the small coil I use. It's behind my thing. Yeah, that small little concentric coil. I really like it. Well, Doug, it's been 2 hours off just that pictures. We're going to get ready to wrap this up. I do want to announce one more time before we go. Don't forget, next week I'm going to have Dielich from Nokta on. We're going to be giving away the Triple Score, which comes with 2 coils, a big 11-inch, or I think it's 12 by 9, and it does come with a small coil, just like the same one I use, a sniper coil. Comes with the Bluetooth wireless headphones. It's low latency. It's a waterproof machine, simultaneous multi-frequency. You can adjust all the tones. It's basically the slight baby brother of the Legend that we use. We're giving one away next week, and Dielich will join us live on the show. So make sure you guys tune in. I was going to try to think of some convoluted thing. I think I'm just going to draw a random number. So you got to be watching in the chat. You probably got to type something. And I just got to figure out how to do that random picker. But we're going to be giving away next week. Dougie, excited about that?
Yes.
I can tell by that quick one-word answer.
Speechless.
Yeah. I can tell. Like, I'm excited, and I can tell from your mundane, laid-back voice that you're just as excited as I am.
I just wish I could enter the drawing.
No, no, it should be fun though. I want to give one away, and then I'm hoping the person who wins it will actually send some photos of their first finds. We'll throw it in one of our videos, Doug.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. Any final words on the night? I will start with Dog Tag Doug and go clockwise.
Somebody, I just wanted to point out, somebody had mentioned in the comments on this week's video that Rich really is making us look bad because he digs so many holes and we dig so few. But I reminded him Rich is half our age, or at least half Charlie and my age. And if he doesn't have twice as much energy, he shouldn't be out there. So he does dig a lot of questionable signals that I might just pass over only because I don't want to dig another piece of foil or something. But for him, he carries around a rabbit's foot or something.
Well, listen, he's got youth on his side, and you know what? When you
the coolest stuff, and but he deserves. He puts the time in. He deserves nice finds because he works for it.
Yeah, if you dig, I mean, he easily digs the most holes. His ratio might be the same as yours, but he digs 5 holes for every one, and he does get rewarded. He does, and he digs a lot, like you said, a lot of questionable signals where I don't know if I would always dig them.
Right.
He does get rewarded. So, hey, I don't mind. I like when he finds stuff. Usually I'm filming, or me and you were talking with the homeowner. Rich doesn't really talk to the homeowners very often.
Yeah.
He's just nose
His
down.
job is to find stuff.
Yeah. We're doing other things to, like, you know, not get kicked out or line up the next week. And Rich doesn't even know the homeowners' names. He just shows up and just goes digs holes.
It really is that I dig way more holes than anybody else does. And these guys, they still teach me stuff all the time. It's not that I'm better or anything. I just dig more holes while they're talking. And, I'm still always asking Jason, can you come help with this hole? I can't find this target.
Yeah, Rich still has a hard time pinpointing. He misses every target at 6 o'clock for whatever reason. And I think that's why he was nicking things. So we're working on that.
Yeah.
I
asked him to help me dig holes too, because I get to like 8 or 9 inches and I'm tired.
Yeah.
And Rich comes over and bails me out.
So Rich is not only digging the most holes, he's also digging half your holes.
The last couple properties, there's been some real bad rock.
Yeah.
Ground roots, and those deep signals. It's tiring for sure.
Yep.
Jason, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of Rich making me move my truck too.
Yeah, every time Charlie moves his truck, Rich finds something amazing.
Coppers.
I'm getting tired of it, Rich.
This all being said, people are now calling our Cobb field the Charlie field. So
Well, that was the Charlie field.
Yeah.
We've all had good days. We've all had good spurts of multiple days. And that may have been the best spurt that I've ever seen Charlie found, that Cobb field. He was killing it.
Yeah.
It was quite rewarding for me. Yes, it was. I appreciate you guys having me detect with you there. Yeah.
And what's funny, Doug, is I don't know if it made the video or not. I forget if I cut it out. But, Rich finds so much stuff, and you said something like, well, don't forget, once a year we vote to see who has to get kicked out of the group. So that's why Rich is still really nice.
Yeah, he's behaving himself.
So, all right, let me bring Charlie. Any last words for Mr. Charlie on the night before we get out of here?
No, but I'm still recuperating from Doug's party he had Sunday. It was great fun time with everyone.
Yeah,
homeowners were there too. The people,
Oh,
people that gave us permission to detect, they showed up. It was a great day for all of us to be together. So thank you, Doug, for having that party.
It was our pleasure. Just one thing about that, Jay. I like to think when we get permissions, we make new friends for life. And I got a card in the mail today, my wife and I, from one of the homeowners.
Yeah, she messaged me and asked me for your last name and your address. And she said they were going to send you a card. We really meet the greatest people, Doug.
Absolutely. And I like to think they're my friends for life now.
No doubt. Yeah.
So,
that's one of the fringe benefits that you don't even realize is that we've stayed in contact with a lot of the homeowners and have good friends. We go back, we get together on our off time. Many of them will reach out. The house that we did last week, Charlie, and the extended that we're doing tomorrow, that permission, you know how we got it? A house that we did last year, they hunted with us. Yeah. They liked it so much that they found this old house, called Doug. They got the permission, had Doug go out just to meet the homeowner. So, and then we landed it. And then we got there, we got the neighbor's house also. Right. So we got this house from a homeowner that we didn't even know, that we met last year. And now, even former homeowners are helping us get new places.
And they were at the party. So
they were at the party also.
Yeah.
So it really,
and my wife enjoyed being there, meeting everyone, and she had a great time. So it was a fun day for all of us.
Yeah, we had a nice day. It was beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good. Let me bring up Rich and Lynn. Any final words on the day, fellas? Well, Lynn, who's also a lady. She's a lady.
I'm gonna miss a whole bunch of the next few weeks, which I regret.
Oh,
So I'll be anxious to hear what you found.
I can't believe you're going to miss this weekend. This weekend, the original house was built in 1685, the wood frame, and then the stone house built around it.
I have a show.
I
I got to
know.
work.
Where are you going to be?
She's
I'm
going to be
gonna
up my way.
I'm going to be near Charlie's in Elverson, which is the Morgantown exit of the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
What's the name of the show?
The Elverson Antique Show.
Okay.
And it's a really beautiful show. 40 or so really quality. They're all high quality dealers. Charlie said he might stop by on Sunday.
Yeah. That's at the Twin Valley High School, right? Twin Valley School?
Twin Valley High School in Elverson.
That's up on the hill there.
All right. So if anybody's in that area, Lynn will be. Is that just Saturday, Lynn, or both days?
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday at the Elverson, Pennsylvania High School.
Twin Valley High School.
The Twin Valley High School in Elverson, Pennsylvania.
Twin Valley High School, Elverson, PA.
And if anyone goes to an antique show where Lynn's vending and goes up to her, Lynn gives them a gift and gets a picture, and we put it in the show. So it's an incentive to go seek out Lynn and say hello.
Now, will Charlie get a picture if he goes to see
it?
Well, Charlie's going to be detecting a 1685 house with us, so he might not show up, Lynn.
Well, he's talking about Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We have I'm hoping we're going to leave Saturday with 4 George Washington buttons. That's my hope.
I hope so.
Anything shy of 4 George Washingtons, I'm going to be disappointed.
Disappointing.
Doug, Rich, any last words? My throat's starting to go.
Oh man, not too much. It was a fun show tonight. I wish I could be there on Saturday with you guys, and I want to say thank you to all the there are a lot of comments tonight in the chat about my finds this week and how good they were. So thank you everybody, and again. If it weren't for these guys, I wouldn't be finding these things. So,
how many do we have in the chat today, Rich?
Almost 300 at the top point. Right now, we're at 222.
That's not bad for 2 hours in, Doug.
Yeah.
I like to think of the people that join us on the quarter afters are our closest friends. Doug, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
They're like the property owners of the quarter hoarder show. Like our closest.
I recognize almost everybody in the chat.
I recognize almost every name, and if we ever had an opening, we would probably bring someone from the weekly chat because they're our closest friends.
Yeah.
So let that be an incentive, but don't hold your breath. But don't hold your breath.
Jason, real quick, Jay Diggs History is going to email you some pictures tomorrow of some native artifacts that he wants me to look at.
Oh, okay.
So if you could forward them to me in his email, then I will email him back.
All right, you do that. Yes. A quarterhoarder at yahoo.com. Obviously. Once I get them, I'll send them over to Rick. I'll probably peek at them myself. Is it okay if I peek at them?
No.
Okay, I won't then. I'll just forward it. I'll just forward it over. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, guys. One last round of goodbyes. I mean, it's the same people all night hanging out with us. Smoking Louie, I didn't get earlier. Jason Fogel, Chris Heimsoth, metal detecting, known him for a long, long time.
Right.
Patrick Parker, Marty Vistral, who we saw out in Iowa. Verstall, sorry, great guy. Ron's digging the Midwest.
He says Doug can even pronounce my last name correctly.
I know. Everything's Doug. I hear it all the time. Sue Ramsey, Charles Shelton, if I got that right. Andrew T. Robert Dunn. Adios, Robert. Thank you. Yep. Oh, listen, by the way, next week, don't forget, normally we wouldn't do a live show next week. It's a special one with Dielich from Nokta. I might not have all of us on, only that way we're not full of heads. Right. It might just be me and Doug, just to keep it simpler. It's going to be mostly a more metal detecting oriented show. We're going to be talking about their machine lines, all the new ones coming up, giving one away. maybe some events that we're going to be going to. We've got a good relationship with Nokta, so it'll be a little bit different. And just so it's not as cluttered with heads, whoa, we might we'll figure it out. But she's going to be on, and I believe Mark, who is the vice president of U.S. marketing, is also going to be joining them, who I have also known for years. So there's going to be next week will be a fun one.
And I'll be in the chat for sure. I want to say hi to Felix and see what's going on.
And of course, a shout out the Key Day Kid one more time. Excalibur shovels. I don't know if I said the coupon code. If you friends of the channel, if you go there, the discount code is the word Alamo, which might change in a few weeks. When we made it up, we had some terrible rental experience, and he made it Alamo as like a gag, and it's still that. It won't last forever, but I think it saves. What was it? 10% off, something like that, maybe 15% off. And they're quality shovels. You won't have a Rich Van Winkle broken one in the field.
He'll be their field rep.
Yes.
Trying them out.
Yeah, I finally got Excalibur down now. My mouth couldn't make that sound.
I gotta get
15% off, Rich. That's pretty darn good.
Yep.
Oh, and Bells is on there. I want to say hello to Bells. But let's get out of here, Doug. I'm super good. Say your hello to Bells.
Hey, Bells. Oh, yeah, I see her there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Doug saw you. Now we're going to get out of here.
Okay.
Let's bring us back in full screen. So we will see you guys next week for the big giveaway. And then hopefully you'll see us on Tuesday for the next video, assuming I get it done in time. I got a lot going on. But hey, otherwise, thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hunting. And we will see you on the next one. Later.